Hey y'all, Pilgrim here. Welcome back to Georgia on this first day of summer. Summer came in with a bang, about 103 air temperature, about 106 after you factor in the humidity. And it's taking its toll on our garden as it naturally does every year. For many people, this time of year, late June into July, is when they start getting rolling. Here for us is when we start winding down. We start pulling things out of the ground, going on to other things like cutting our grass. Our main focus now is sweet potatoes. We see the draws here still doing real good. We've watered them and we're weeding them, we're keeping them up. Let's look at how healthy these draws are. They're doing real good under there. And we need them to stay healthy, because we've got other people that may be relying on us for some, and we need more ourselves because we've had a failure. You see 2 rows of sweet potatoes planted here that are doing really well. However, over here, not so well. We had about 60% of what we put in here, to 70% didn't take. So we had to rototill them under. We just sacrificed them, rototilled them under. Here's one that survived the rototill and being stepped on. That guy's coming back, but that's no big deal. Now we want full rows of potatoes. We don't want a half row. We want to utilize every single bit of space we have. Don't have far to go to get more draws. They just come from here. We picked the vine cuttings off of there. We put them in here, and these will be potatoes that we'll be eating this winter. Now our next chance to plant, to do it properly, will be early July. 4th of July, probably. We'll have the time off anyways, and that's when we'll be planting these the next time. Now look here in the basket, I just did a little bit of picking. I was picking from these, our second planting of peppers, and they're still doing okay. You see these here just came off of these plants. I see them wilting a little bit, which happens in this intense heat, but they're doing all right. Looks like from that sky, we're about to get some rain anyways, which is unusual. I mean, I forgot what the wiper button was on my truck the other day. I couldn't remember when it started to rain. But these, we've still got growth on here, plenty of blossoms. I'm gonna let these go. We're gonna let them go, and we'll see what they'll do. Let's come down here to these successful rows of sweet potato draws put in the ground. See, I weeded them 3 days ago, and look, it's back. All this nut grass. See, you just break it off sometimes. You gotta dig it out, which I did. You just break it off, it's just gonna come right back out. It's a continual battle, the continual battle of the nut grass. You see, I've marked these rows with a stick right here to let everybody know, and to let ourselves know, that these are draws and that these are safe to save for seed for next year. We don't want to confuse them with the vine cuttings that will be planted beside them. Let's come over here to our tomatoes. Tomatoes are still doing well. Here's one, let's just pick, here's one right here. There we go, vine ripened plum tomato. You don't get much better than this. Completely 100% organic. Let's put him in the basket there with his friends. If I kept picking tomatoes, we'd be here all night. Wouldn't have time for that. But you see the plants starting to wilt. They're starting to die, but they're still putting out really well. I've got tomatoes on windowsills, and I've got tomatoes in the refrigerator, and I've got tomatoes on tables, and we've got dehydrated tomatoes. In fact, you can fit 60, believe it or not. If you dehydrate these, you can fit 60 of them inside a 1-quart mason jar. It's real great. We'll show that in a video later on. Now here's some first planting of peppers, and they're on their way out, but I want to let this plant go. You see beside the ground there, I've ripped some out. You already see the holes there where the plants that weren't doing well enough, we tore them out of the ground. Their time's up. We've got plenty of peppers anyways. Let's look over here. Speaking of peppers, this is the hot banana. We've got them planted on the other side of the garden as a sweet one, so you don't get them mixed together. You get a surprise if you do that. Now they're shorter and they're stubbier, but the color is a good banana yellow. The flavor's still good with these. I'm just gonna let these go. We'll let them fully mature. See what happens. I can afford to let them go here for a while. Excuse me, just got an update on this while I was here. Now let's look at these jalapenos. Look at the color, starting to turn darker. I've got somebody bringing me what looks like a watermelon, but that's not a real watermelon yet. Get that thing out of here. That's not a real watermelon.
Can I break it?
You can break it. All right, and these jalapenos, I've got plenty of them. Here's another gardener. Hello, gardener. Hello. Sorry for the interruption. These are doing so good, and I've got so many of them. I'm gonna let them turn red. It looks like they're gonna be all right. Sometimes they turn hot, sometimes they rot. These are gonna be all right. Let's look over here at our cayennes. Oop, look at that, we got a natural pesticide. That big spider there has got himself a stink bug. One less stink bug. Thank you, spider, for getting that. And I've already picked the cayennes through here, as you can see over here. I just went through a few minutes ago and picked some. Here's what they look like when they turn fully red. We managed to catch them before they got any rot to them. I've got a bunch of them storing up in the refrigerator. We will dehydrate these and then grind them into a powder. I mean, you can fit a whole bunch. When you grind them into powder, you can get 100 of them in a little teeny bottle. That's the best way to use it, the best way to keep it, the best way to store it. Woo, wind picking up. Looks like we're gonna get quite a storm here. But look at this tomato plant. It's had it. These will be completely pulled right out of the ground tonight, weather permitting. That one, maybe we'll let them go. We'll pick the good tomatoes off of here, take that plant and toss them. He's done. This one here is still doing fantastic. We'll let them go. See these bush tomatoes, how they spread out like that. You've got to dig in there real close because there's tomatoes hidden all over. Got to get them before they get too ripe. And that tomato plant there, he's on his way out. This one here, same thing. Same thing. Now here's some of our original peppers again. They're doing okay. We'll let them go for a couple more days. Out over here, sweet bananas. It's the same thing. They're stubbier, they're shorter, they're not growing as long, to 6 to 8 inches like they used to grow. But that's just fine. That's just fine. We'll let them go.